It's pretty fun to drive. It's very well balanced. The 912s are a little bit better balanced than the 911s. My friend has the same year car, 911. I've driven it. It's a little hard to drive just because of all the weight in the rear. So the platform's really good for racing. It has pretty much all 911 suspension components. It has like the S front brakes, S rear brakes, Coney adjustable shocks front and rear. It's all corner balanced. So mainly it's not super fast, but it handles really, really well. And that's kind of what we're going for versus something that was overpowered. And now it's become weird because when I bought this car, it really wasn't a collector car 10 years ago. I mean, it was, but people didn't really notice it. And now with the whole craze of the 911s, this car it gets a lot more attention now, and it's kind of hard to drive because you'll go to a gas station and people will talk to you. People will follow you home trying to buy it. They'll leave notes on it. It's become like such an attention getter just because the whole craze of 911s has blown up, and especially in LA, due to all these, urban outlaw videos, let's say. So it's become weird. But. My name is Brian Sloma. This is my 69 Porsche 912. I've had this car for about 10 years now. It's an original paint car. I came from the VW world, and so I wanted something that was a little bit quicker, a little faster, so I bought this car off of the 912 forums, kind of a community that's based in Southern California. Since I've owned it, I've daily driven it for about 5 years, done some vintage racing with it at Laguna Seca and then Willow Springs. So the stock horsepower is about 110, and it's about probably 160, 170 now. It's got a big bore kit. It's got different cam, poured and polished heads. I've done all the suspension and stuff. I built the roll cage for the car. My dad builds VW race engines, and so he helped me do the motor in the car. So he built the motor and the transmission for it. But everything else I've done myself. The 912 is obviously like the smaller brother of the 911, if you will, and they were only made from about 65 through 69. So this is the last year of the 912. And some people look down upon them, but they're about 300 pounds less than the same year 911. With the big bore kit and Webers, you're making about the same horsepower, so you have a lighter car with about the same horsepower. And so it's pretty comparable driving-wise to the 911 of this year, a stock one. So even though they were looked down upon, now they're becoming more desirable because they are such great driving cars and they are lighter than the 911. So the car has always been in California. It's original, bought and sold in Beverly Hills in 1969. So the paint is pretty much original, besides like the front bumper. It's got an RS front bumper. It has Euro glass headlights, H4 headlights, and it has European turn signals on it, so it's a little different on the front end. The 912 comes stock with steel wheels. So it has reproduction Fuchs on it. It's been lowered about 4 inches from stock. So those are reproduction. But otherwise it's pretty much stock. The paint's all original except for like hood and little touch-ups. All the trim on the car is original. It has a few little nicks and rust spots that are indicative of an original car. All the glass is original. The trunk, it's original black plate car. So that's why I bought it, because it was so clean and pretty much rust-free for the most part. So the inside of the car is pretty original for the most part. It's got original seats. The carpet's been replaced, but the dash is all original. Gauge is original headliner, which is pretty nice because the car was pretty clean and well taken care of. I've swapped it out for a Nardi steering wheel, just a little bit different. The stereo's been upgraded. It was like that when I bought it. The only thing we really did is put the roll cage in it for racing. It's required that you have a 4-point bar that's welded into the car, so this is all structurally welded in. And a friend and I, we built the roll cage to fit in the car. So other than that, it's pretty stock. We removed the back of the rear seats, but everything in the car is pretty original as it came from the factory. So the motor is basically stock architecture still. It's got a big bore kit, so bigger jugs, bigger pistons, ported and polished heads, different cam, and then it has twin 44 Webers to make it flow a little bit better. And then it also has a full header back exhaust, Bursch header, and then Bursch muffler. along with poured and polished manifolds and just a few other little tricks, lighten flywheel. Just give it a little bit more power.